Hello everyone, welcome to the class today. Now today we're going to be learning some very important sentences in Chinese language. We're going to be learning about happiness. How do you express happiness in Chinese language? That's what we're going to do. Now let's take a look. What are the sentences we're going to be learning? They are 我很高兴我好开心啊太棒了我今天特别快乐这就是幸福的感觉 Now, let's take it one after the other. 我很高兴 Now, how do you say 我很高兴? First of all, what's the meaning of 我很高兴? 我很高兴 means I'm so happy. I am so happy. 我很高兴 Now, how do we pronounce this? Let's say one after the other. The first character we have here is 我 Let's do that together. 我 Very good. The next one is 很 How do you say it? You know you have the E sound. I think I've said it in one of the other videos that when you want to say the hen, you need to smile. The E sound there, you need to smile to get it. Hen. It's not hen, and it's not n. It is hen. The sound is coming from the throat area. It's coming from the throat, right? Hen. 我 in third tone, and we have hen. Let's go to the next one. Gao. Note, I'm not saying K. It's not K. Cow. I'm not saying K. And I'm not saying the English G. Gao. It's not that strong, right? The G in Chinese is somewhere in between the K and the G in English. Like it's not as strong as a G. And it's not as soft as K. It's in between, like Gao. I'm not saying G, remember, and I'm not saying K. It sounds like this. Try to get it. Gao. Alright, now let's go to the next one. Xìng. How do you get your xìng correctly? The key is the X sound here. Note, I'm not saying xìng. I'm not saying she. I'm not clenching my teeth. She. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is xìng. The teeth shouldn't clench. Xìng. And remember there's an ng at the end. Ng. Xìng. Not xin. I'm not saying xin. And I'm not saying xing. I'm saying xing. There's an ng sound here. Alright, let's go everything together now. 我很高兴 But you notice that I've always been trying to say 我 instead of 我 That's because we have a rule in Chinese. That's called the double throating rule. What does the double throating rule say? The double throating rule says that if you have two throat tones coming one after the other, like 我 and 很, you need to change the very first throat tone into second tone. So it wouldn't, when you want to pronounce 我很高兴, you wouldn't say 我很高兴, you say 我很高兴 because the 我 will change to 我. You know, we have four tones in Mandarin Chinese. If you haven't subscribed, you're going to be getting the videos very soon that's going to be teaching you about the tones in Chinese language. All right, now let's go back to what we're discussing. 我很 it will change to 我 Let's go for the four tones for W and O. It will be 我 first tone, 我 second tone, 我 third tone, 我 fourth tone. So here we need 我 it will now be 我很高兴 Why is it 我 and why is it not 我? Because of the double throat tone rule, right? Now, why this double throat tone rule? Why can't we just say 我很高兴? Isn't it easy? No, it's actually not easy because Chinese people know that when you're speaking and you have two throat tones one after the other, it becomes more difficult to pronounce. When you say 我很, it's harder than when you say 我很. You get? So that's why the Chinese people said whenever we have two third tones coming one after the other, we have to change the very first third tone into second tone, which will make it 我很高兴. So the correct pronunciation of this sentence is 我很高兴 not 我很高兴 Very stressful. I'm already tired from saying that. Alright, so it should be what? 我很高兴 Very good. Now, let's go to the next sentence. 我好开心啊 This is also used to express happiness. Oh, I'm so happy. Now, 开心 also means being happy, being joyful, right? So you can say 开心 and you can also say 高兴. interchangeably, right? There is no rule, there's no clear-cut rule telling you that you must say 高兴 in this situation and you must say 开心 in this situation. There's no such rule, so you can use it anyhow you feel like using it. 我很高兴，我很开心，我好开心啊. You can also change the 开心 into 高兴。我好高兴啊, right? So there's no rule there. You can use it any way you want. Let's go over the second sentence. 我好开心啊，我好. In this situation here, we also have 我 and 好. So the 我 will change into what? 我, because we have 好 in third tone and 我 in third tone. So the very first third tone here will change to second tone. It will now be 我好开心啊，我好开心啊. Right, when you want to express happiness. 我好开心啊，我好开心. You can also leave the part out of it. Because the there is an exclamation, right? You can say, oh, I'm so happy. You don't have to add a he at the end, right? In English. Oh, I'm so happy. He is just like an exclamation, right? So let's go over the sentence again one more time. 我好开心啊. So you can add the and you might decide not to add the right? Now let's go to the next sentence. 太棒了. 太棒了 is used to express excitement and happiness also. Where you want to say, oh, that's so amazing, right? You can say 太棒了. Okay, let me give you an example now. Let's say you went to attend a sports event and your friend was partaking in that event. Let's say it's track and field, 100 meters race, right? So your friend actually ran and he took first place. Right? You can say, when you see the friend, when he finishes the race, he can come to you and you'll be like, wow, 太棒了! That's so amazing. That's so incredible. 太棒了, right? So you can also use this for any other situation where you want to express that happiness in you by saying, oh, that's so amazing. That's so wonderful. 太棒了. You can say that. So now let's say the sentence together. 太棒了. Bang. Don't say 太棒了. It's not bang, it is bang. 太棒了. 太棒了，你真是太棒了，太棒了。All right, now let's go to the next sentence. 我今天特别快乐。我今天特别快乐。Today, I'm so happy, I'm so fulfilled. Because this 快乐 also means happiness. But for 快乐, I think 快乐 is not really used very often when you want to express happiness over just anything. Of course, when you want to express happiness over almost everything, you can say 开心, you can say 高兴, right? But 快乐 is used for probably a deeper sense of happiness. Happiness at a grander scale. Let's say we have on the first level, we have 开心 and 高兴. Then a bit above that, we have 快乐. Above 快乐, we have something else, which is what we are going to learn very soon, right? Now let's go for 快乐. Now, 快乐 is used for happiness. Let's say you're happy, you finished your college or university, finished the 4 years in the university, then you finally graduated. You want to express the happiness that you have finally achieved this. You've gotten your degree after 4 years. You can use 快乐. 快乐 is more at a higher level compared to 开心 and 高兴, right? So 快乐, how do you express the 快乐 in this instance? We can use the sentence we're trying to learn now. 我今天特别快乐. Oh, I finally graduated, finished my 4 years in school. Now, 我今天特别快乐. 你今天快乐吗？我今天特别快乐, right? Very good. Now, let's learn the final sentence for the day. 这就是幸福的感觉。这就是幸福的感觉. That's it, slowly, right? So guys, what's 幸福? I already said we have 高兴 and we have 开心 at the first level. Above that, we have 快乐. Now, above that, we have 幸福, right? 幸福 is happiness, like extreme happiness. Now, what instance can we use this 幸福 in? Let me give you an instance now. Let's say you've been working out for several years and finally you're rich enough to buy yourself a Bugatti. The Bugatti is worth about $5 million, $4 million, somewhere around that figure, right? That's a huge amount of money, right? So you want to get the Bugatti. You now finally get your Bugatti and you're in the car, you're driving it for the first time. You can now use this sentence to express how deeply happy and fulfilled you are. So I can imagine myself on the Bugatti. Ooh, my first brake. 哦，这就是幸福的感觉。All right, now you understand how you can use 幸福. Now, 幸福 is not necessarily at that high skill or at that high level when you get a Bugatti, because most people are not going to be able to get a Bugatti, right? So now let's look for another sentence which you guys can relate to better. Now, let's say a friend of yours gets married and you want to congratulate the person. You can also use 幸福 because 幸福, as I said, is like a very high level on the scale of happiness, right? You cannot use 开心. You can't tell them, oh, I wish you are 开心 or I wish you become 高兴. Those are too small, right? And you cannot really use 快乐, like I wish you are 快乐. Although you can use it, but it's not high enough. But when you use 幸福, you're trying to tell them that you wish them happiness, like all around happiness at a very high level, right? So, what's common use is 幸福 when we want to congratulate someone for getting married. Let's say 祝你幸福. 祝 means wish, then 你 means you. Then you can have your 幸福 after. 祝你幸福. 我祝你幸福. I wish you happiness at that level. So I guess now you're all able to understand that 幸福 is a very high degree of happiness. So let's go over all the sentences we've learned in this lesson. 我很高兴，我好开心啊，太棒了，我今天特别快乐，这就是幸福的感觉。Alright guys, we round up now. If you haven't subscribed, do it now so you can get more content from Ebla Chinese Language Academy. Alright guys, see you in the next video.